guy behind Manistil, Neuroquell, Procerona, Neuroquell Plus, etc., etc. And I'm just a scientist. I've been involved with this since 1996. And we established a company called Atlantic Management Resources. And that company is responsible for all of the major research that we're doing now. And our mission statement is really, we want to have excellence in pain research. That's the mission. And my background has been in physics, law, accounting, nuclear physics and things. And I spent a lot of time in Miami at one of the big research centers down there back in 1996. And the mission was to find a way to cause nerve endings to separate from each other. And the reason we wanted to do that is we wanted to put a magnetic field around the nerve cell itself. And nerve cells typically look like this. And these funny little things here are called axons. And the next one, they come very, very close together. And this little space here is called a synapse. Well, when you have pain, there's a little piece of electrical energy. If I go like this, I can feel that in my brain. But what really happens is that electrical energy goes down and goes into one nerve cell, down the axons, jumps across that little synapse here, back to the next one, all the way up into your brain, and that's how you feel pain. So the theory was, and we were doing research on spinal cord regeneration for people that have severe injuries. I think you probably might remember Chris Reeves, the fellow who was Superman at that time. He was down here when I was doing all this research. And our prime research was to see and to use him, not really as a guinea pig, but because of his connections and friends, they came forth with a lot of money and allowed us to do some experimentation that perhaps we never would have been able to do. So, to make a long story short, we found a way to cause nerve endings to separate like this. And when they separated, they made this odd shape, which you cannot put a magnetic field around, look like this, and I call it a potato. And so once you get it in this shape, you can put a magnetic field around. And we'll put a magnetic field around this one. And this would be a negative charge magnetic field. This would be a positive charge magnetic field. And again, the thought behind it was if you get a negative here and a positive here, you know what happens when you put two magnets together. If you turn them right, they're going to attract each other. If you turn them the wrong way, where negative against negative or positive against positive, they're going to pull apart like this. We wanted to go together. So the nerve endings that had been severed from the normal nerve canal would actually cause, because of the magnetic field, cause to come together. And they actually could grow together using some other technologies that we developed at the time. So I was involved with the preliminary research of doing all of that. And we found that what caused this nerve endings to separate like this was an active molecule in calendula oil. I'm sure you all know what calendula oil is. It comes from those little marigolds. They're usually yellow or light brown. And the oil in that has been known for centuries to cause a relief of pain. But the issue was it caused relief, but just a little bit. So we looked at it. We found the molecule that actually caused that pain relief. We managed to separate it or isolate it in a way and present it to the nerve endings so that now, rather than just move a little bit like this, it caused them to go like that. And that was a big deal for us. And that took almost 6 years of research to do that. And while we were explaining what we had accomplished in front of a big group of scientists, my secretary at the time said, if that causes a release of the molecules, and she got it all mixed up, but anyway, what she was saying was, if you can cause the separation from those nerve cells from one to the other, pain can get to your brain, and if you put it in the right area, you're going to cause that to happen. Why wouldn't that happen on my menstrual cramps? And she sort of said it out loud a little bit, and it was embarrassing at the time. Anyway, she didn't mean any harm, and everybody looked at me like, tell her to be quiet for a while. So after, she says, you scientists think you know everything, but menstrual cramp is a big thing for women. You guys don't even think about that. So anyway, we made her up, to make a long story short again. We made her up some calendula oil. We put perfume in it because calendula oil in the absolute state, the way we use it, smells like sour feet. It's really a gross smell. Anyway, she tried it on her menstrual cramps, right on her abdomen, And within a period of about 3 minutes, the menstrual cramps disappeared. And that began this whole thing about we discovered something that was pretty unique, uniquely different from anything else that was on the market. And by the way, aspirin causes the same exact thing to happen. It causes the axons to separate, and everyone uses aspirin. Aspirin, as you know, causes major, major problems with your digestive tract and a lot of other things that we don't have to get into now. But it's not a smart thing to use a lot of aspirin because it will cause eventual death, excessive bleeding, and a whole bunch of crazy things. So anyway, we thought we had something that was really unique. It was extremely safe to use. We mixed some other things up just to get the smell away from it. And the other ingredients are all natural, pure, essential oils. There's a little bit of mineral oil in there, and we use that for other technical reasons. But other than that, it's just pure essential oils. Every ingredient in the product is on the FDA's GRAS list, generally regarded as safe as a food additive. And probably all of us here use at least 2 or 3 of these ingredients every single day. You know, they're used as thickening agents in perfumes. They're used in additives to food, stabilizers, all over. So the history of the safeness of this as far as digesting it goes way back 40, 50 years. So we still have to do a lot more research on determine toxicology if it's induced directly into the bloodstream, and there's a lot of other research that we have to do. But in the meantime, we developed a product called Menistil, and that's what's used for menstrual cramps. You put just a little, it's on a little roller ball, as I'm sure Donna will show you, on how you apply it. Very simple to do. It's not going to spill. You don't have to use very much of it. And as a matter of fact, an 1/8 ounce bottle, it's only about the size of a tube of lipstick. An 1/8 ounce bottle will cover an area bigger than the palm of your hand 26 times. There's a lot of usage there, so you don't. And it's very expensive, and I've got to tell you that right from the beginning, at least by my standards, and I'm not a rich guy, but it's very expensive only because of the way we have to make and expose the active molecule that we call in the catalyst. So one of these days we're going to get smart and find a simple way to do it, and we'll be able to reduce the price hopefully by 50%. But right now, and probably within the next 5 or 6 years, that's the way it is. So we've looking at other products. We found a way to put this in a cream form, and my goodness, it just works so nice. And it's beeswax, and believe it or not, it comes from Australia. The beeswax does, and we can put some of the calendula oil into the beeswax along with the other ingredients, and you can mix it up so it's a nice loose kind of cream. You can put this all over your hands. It's great for chapped hands too, by the way. But arthritic hands, elbows, knees, and just rubbing it in with that cream or with the regular oil, if you will, works just absolutely fantastic. And that's not me talking, that's other people that have been telling me this. But you want to try this if you got a pain, and it doesn't matter where it is. It could be here, on your hip, your ankle. Just put a little bit of this on and just sit back and think where that pain is and what's happening to it. You'll feel a difference in about 3 seconds. 3 seconds. It's not very long. It takes probably its maximum time to develop, probably no more than 8 or 10 minutes. And once that happens, people say, well, it smells a little like peppermint, and I don't want this, I don't want that. So you can reduce or get rid of the scent purely by getting some plain water and just washing it off with a face towel, and that's the end of it. But you don't wash the ingredient off, and it works just as well. So the research part of this whole thing, that's my specialty, and that's what I really enjoy doing. And it's not sales and marketing, with all due respect to everybody. And we're going to continue doing that. And we're going to have our own lab up probably within a year. We're going to get into a lot of toxicology tests, and we're finding that this product has some very strong anti-inflammatory characteristics, and it also has some other characteristics that we're studying right now. So one of the things that we want to be sure that everybody understands, this is not an end-all, do-all for all pain in the world. There's some types of pain that we cannot stop that's so severe, and we don't want to get into spinal application or anything like this, at least not right now, but we're looking at so many other directions to go in. And that's my thing. And Donna and others who are going to represent our company, and the sales end of this company is going to be called Claire Ellen Products. Claire, by the way, was my mom's first name, and Ellen was my mother-in-law's first name, and they're both deceased now, so we use that as sort of a memory thing. And it's sort of a nice name. So we have had a lot of experience in reducing pain and eliminating pain, and a lot of people all over the world, thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and we're going to try to figure out how many applications we had, and it's in the tens of millions. And we essentially been giving it away. We've been taking a loss, and I've been fortunate to have been endowed with some research money that has helped us through this time of doing all this research. But now, after 15 years, and it'll be 15 years, by the way, September 10th, 2011, and that's a lot of time, at least as far as me. I'm getting old and want to do something severe with it. So we're going to get into the promotion of this. There are a lot of new applications. We don't want you to look at this as a snake oil. It does cause the release of pain, any kind of pain, because of the way it works, just like aspirin. Just keep that in the back of your mind. And we hope that you'd all get an opportunity to try it. We do have, I have no personal issues on sending out free samples, by the way. And Donna and others who are on our staff will be sure that everyone is handled appropriately. And we thank you for your interest. I'm more than happy to answer any kind of technical questions. We have, excuse me, we have clinical trials, and we're continually doing clinical trials. And we hope that within the next 4 or 5 years, we'll have another 6 or 8 more products to sell. So stay close, and thank you again.